Students, we are going to revise what we have learnt in last 4 days. So we are going to learn about endocrine glands.
Endocrine glands. Hello students. All of us have experienced growth and changes in our body. All human beings go through physical transitions. From being babies to toddlers, toddlers to young children to adolescents, adolescents to adults, and so on. There are many changes which occur in each phase. So let's first talk about the adolescence phase. In this phase, humans go through many physical changes, such as an increase in height, changes in the shape of the body, and an increase in the activity of the sweat and sebaceous glands. Sweat glands are one of the many glands present in our body. A gland is an organ that produces and secretes substances to perform specific functions in the body. So there are two types of glands: exocrine glands and endocrine glands. Let's understand each of these in detail. Exocrine glands have ducts. They produce and release substances through these ducts. Ducts release substances into the external and internal parts of the body. For example, when we eat, the salivary glands release saliva into the salivary ducts. These ducts allow the passage of saliva from the salivary glands to the oral cavity or mouth, where it helps us in digesting food. Some other examples of exocrine glands are sebaceous glands, which produce oil, and sweat glands, which release sweat in our body. Now let's learn about the endocrine glands. These glands are ductless or tubeless. This is because they secrete chemicals known as hormones directly into the bloodstream. The changes that adolescents go through during puberty are caused by these hormones. Let's find out more about endocrine glands. There are 10 endocrine glands in our body. Some examples of endocrine glands are the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, the adrenal glands, the pancreas, and a pair of testes in males and a pair of ovaries in females. Each of these glands secretes a different hormone. When they are released into the blood, they reach a specific part in the body called a target site. They attach themselves to the target site and perform a specific function. Now, how do you think a hormone recognizes its target site? A hormone recognizes its target site with the help of specific structures known as receptors. They are present on the surface of the target site. Once a hormone finds its receptor, it fits into the receptor perfectly, similar to how a key fits into a lock. For example, the growth hormone released by the pituitary gland travels through the blood to different parts of the body. Once it finds its target site, it binds to the receptor, causing changes such as elongation of bones. This is how the height of an individual increases. The specificity of hormones for the receptors on the target site is truly amazing. The interaction between a hormone and its receptor causes many effects on our bodies throughout life. Thank you. Happy learning.
Students, we are going to learn about the functions of endocrine glands. First, let us learn about the location of endocrine glands. First one is thyroid gland. It is situated near the neck, and hormone secreted by it is thyroxine. Adrenal gland, its location is above the kidneys, and hormone secreted by it is adrenaline. Right? Third one is ovaries. Ovaries are located in the lower region of abdomen, and hormone secreted by ovaries is estrogen. Fourth one is pituitary gland. Its location is at the base of the brain, and the hormone secreted is growth hormone. Fifth one is pancreas. Its location is near the stomach, and hormone it secretes is insulin. Sixth one is testes. Testes are found in males and they are located at the sacrotal sorry scrotal sac, and hormone secreted by them is testosterone. Now, functions of some endocrine glands. Function of pituitary gland: it is located at the base of the brain, and the hormone secreted is growth hormone. Ovaries in the female are located in the lower abdomen and they secrete estrogen, and testes in the male are situated in the scrotal sac, and hormone secreted is testosterone. Pituitary gland is situated at the base of the brain and hormone is growth hormone. So pituitary gland produces the growth hormone. You can see in the diagram. So function of the growth hormone is to promote the growth of all body parts. Next question is, what will an imbalance in the growth hormone lead to? Let us see. What does it do? Growth hormone imbalance creates deficiency uh, okay, you can see the deficiency of growth hormones lead to dwarfism, and excess of growth hormone leads to gigantism. Apart from the growth hormone, the pituitary gland also secretes other hormones that control the functions of all endocrine glands like pancreas, adrenal gland, pituitary gland, testes, thyroid gland, and ovaries. Now, pituitary gland, it produces the growth hormone and promotes the growth of all parts, controls other glands also. Testes, they produce testosterone. Here are the testes. They produce testosterone. And function of testosterone is development of reproductive organs, sperm production, secondary sexual characters. If there is a deficiency of testosterone, it leads to underdeveloped reproductive organs, less sperm production, underdeveloped secondary sexual characters. Ovaries, which produce estrogen, their function is development of reproductive organs and secondary sexual characters such as development of milk producing glands. And if there is a deficiency of estrogen hormone, it leads to underdeveloped reproductive organs and underdeveloped secondary sexual characters. Ovaries, pituitary gland and testes. Students, here we are going to learn about the remaining endocrine glands and their functions. Thyroid gland, it is located near the neck and the hormone secreted by it is thyroxine. Its function is regulation of metabolism. Another endocrine gland is adrenal gland. It is located above the kidneys and hormone secreted by it is adrenaline, and its function is that it triggers changes in stressful situations. Another endocrine gland is pancreas. It is located near the stomach and the hormone secreted by it is insulin, and its function is to maintain blood sugar level. Students, in this CRL we are going to learn about menstruation and menstrual cycle. Let us see this.
Menstrual cycle. Hello students. Have you noticed how our bodies are constantly changing with time? At your age, you must have experienced several physical, mental, and emotional changes in yourself. In this video, we will understand how girls start experiencing some changes as they grow. When girls attain puberty, they get their first period. This can occur anywhere between 9 and 14 years of age. So, the onset of periods or menstrual flow is known as menarche. But what is a period and why does it occur in females? Let's find out. We know that the female reproductive system comprises a pair of ovaries connected to the uterus through two fallopian tubes. At puberty, the ovaries mature and begin to release eggs. Every month, one of the ovaries releases an egg or an ovum. The ovum travels through the fallopian tube into the uterus. The uterus begins to prepare for the possible fertilization of this egg. It forms a thick internal lining so that if the egg gets fertilized, it can attach itself to the uterus and receive nutrients required for its further development. But what will happen if the egg is not fertilized? If the egg is not fertilized, it begins to dissolve. At the same time, the uterus begins to shed the thickened lining in the form of blood and tissues. This is called menstrual flow or a period. The menstrual flow occurs for approximately 4 to 6 days. Once it is complete, the lining of the uterus begins to thicken again. This way, the uterus readies itself for the next egg to be released. This cycle repeats every 28 to 30 days and is called the menstrual cycle. It occurs every month until a woman attains menopause, which is when the release of eggs and the menstrual flow stop. This usually occurs between 45 and 50 years of age. All of these changes in the reproductive system, such as the maturation and release of eggs, as well as thickening and shedding of the uterine wall, occur due to the action of the female hormone estrogen. Now, it's time to summarize what we have learned today. When girls attain puberty, they get their first period. This can occur anywhere between 9 and 14 years of age. So, the onset of periods or menstrual flow is known as menarche. At puberty, the ovaries mature and begin to release eggs. Every month, the uterus prepares for the possible fertilization of an egg and forms a thick internal lining in the process. If the egg is not fertilized, it begins to dissolve. At the same time, the uterus begins to shed the thickened lining in the form of blood and tissues. This is called menstrual flow or a period. This cycle repeats every 28 to 30 days and is called the menstrual cycle. It occurs every month until a woman attains menopause, which is when the release of eggs and the menstrual flow stop. So that's all for this video. Happy learning!